Lee Robinson here at American Sentinel K9, and conversing with a Facebook friend about protection dogs and sport dogs and hog dogs, catch dogs. The conversation of prey and defense comes up once again, and it's really apparent to me when a person has done almost all of their work in a sport community or a prey-based community, because their mindset is different. And it's also true that, and I understand there are reservations against protection trainers, because there's no secret that a lot of protection trainers just are not good at what they do, and the best trainers out there as far as skill set are going to be your sport trainers. However, sometimes you can be really good at something and you still miss the boat, and a lot of your sport trainers miss the boat when it comes to the mindset of what protection is actually about. Now, in reference to hog catch, I've seen them refer to, well, dogs can kill a wild pig and that's all prey work. And you're right, they can. They absolutely can. But there's two problems with the argument of comparing catch dogs to protection dogs. First of all, we don't do hog catch to evaluate our dog's prey in terms of protection applications. I do catch work to measure some determination, of course, some, but I also do it to measure athleticism, agility, heat tolerance, stamina, and other things that are necessary from a physical component, because those other things are important to me for protection work or an all-around great dog. But when it comes to training, a jack of all trades is a lot of times an expert at none. So let's look at the fallacies of comparing catch work with protection work. One, our catch dogs are not expected to live with wild hogs. If they were expected to live with wild hogs, and when I went to the store and came back home, I'd have a dead pig. Okay, so that's not acceptable for a protection dog. A protection dog is never going to be allowed to target any human being that it lives with. Okay, so hogs and dogs, or excuse me, catch dogs don't live with hogs. That's one problem. The other problem with that argument is human beings are much more intelligent than a wild hog. Okay, while wild hogs, maybe, a lot of people talk about how smart hogs are, but hogs don't grab bait items to redirect the dog and keep that dog out of striking distance and frustrate that dog back and forth with a bait item, and then toss that bait item to the side where that dog will then go bite the bait item instead of the hog itself. And humans do that. You go watch, even in Hollywood movies, and these people are not even trainers. They walk up to a fence, there's a guard dog, they toss something to the side, the dog goes and bites the item that they tossed, and then 10 minutes later the people go in, or 10 seconds later the people go in. And if people who are not even trainers know that this works, trust me, as a trainer, it works. You can grab a flirt pole, zigzag back and forth, and even if the dog wants to bite the human, you deny them the bite long enough and you frustrate them long enough, they will redirect to a prey item. So prey drive is not as reliable as a dog that has both prey and defense. You don't want to ignore prey. You need some prey for that dog to be committed and stay engaged in the conflict, but you want a little bit of defense so that dog doesn't switch to a bait item. The bait needs to be ignored, and this is the beginning of understanding what protection work's about. It's not just about skill set. Skill set is important, of course, and I would never say otherwise, but you also have to understand the clarity of the objective. Sport trainers call decoys helpers. Protection trainers call decoys agitators. And there's your difference.